Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Anonymous Sports Talk. And today we have football, and we're going to be talking about the World Cup qualifiers, the 2022 Qatar World Cup qualifiers that are going to take place this weekend, and that's between Wales and Ukraine. Obviously, for Wales, they've been waiting for this stage for a while now after getting past in the last round of fixtures to qualify for these finals for the World Cup qualification, and they'll be playing at home. This is after their last game against Poland, different competition in the Nations League. They lost the game 2-1. However, they made many changes. They didn't really play their first team because all their minds were focused on this game and this game alone against this Ukraine team. And this is a Ukraine team that's going to come up against the Welsh. They won their last game away to Scotland with a brilliant performance, winning that game 3-1, and they were comfortable for most of the game. And with the amount of support they have worldwide with what's going on in their country, they're looking for this to essentially bring the nation together to qualify for the World Cup in Qatar in 2022. Against this Welsh team, who will also be looking to make history, making it to the World Cup this year. Like I mentioned, the last game was against Poland, but they made many changes, rested a lot of their key players, a lot of the star players for this game. And of course, one of those big players, one of those star players is someone we all know, and that's their captain, their leader, Gareth Bale. Now, obviously, for club, Gareth Bale didn't have the best of seasons this year, didn't get as many appearances as he would like for Real Madrid. However, really, it's normally with Wales where he shines. I mean, as he said it himself, Wales, Golf, Madrid, in that order. So obviously, Wales is his first priority. And being the captain, this is a chance to, again, continue to make history for his nation after what he's done for them in the Euros, taking them to the Euros and taking them as deep as he can. They're going to be looking to make this World Cup appearance in what could possibly be his last World Cup. Now, in terms of his fitness, he hasn't had that many games, which might be an issue going into this one, but you know he's going to prepare himself to play for his country. And the fact that he was rested in the game against Poland, they've been saving him for this game, for this big moment. And we know Gareth Bale is sound for the big occasions. From his time at Real Madrid in the seasons gone by, the titles he's won, the goals he scored, assists, and also for his country, to be fair, for Wales, he's been really, really essential for them in their last tournaments. So for him, you know, this is his final chance, arguably, to go to a World Cup. And he'll be wanting to be the talisman, the guy to guide his nation to a World Cup. Obviously, he'll have his partner in crime, and that's Aaron Ramsey. Again, someone who hasn't had the best of seasons. He's been a bit stop-start with the Rangers, and obviously he was last seen in the finals of the Europa League against Frankfurt, and he did miss the penalty. He was the only player to miss the penalty in ultimately Rangers losing that final against Frankfurt. But as much as his season hasn't been what he would like, the move to Juventus was a bit disappointing. His best days was in at Arsenal. He's still proven to be a top player for his country on the big occasions in the big competitions. So him alongside Gareth Bale are going to be the two main men for Wales, and he'll be looking to put his stamp in this game and take his country to the World Cup this winter in December. In terms of what he brings to the game, we know he runs into the box, his late runs into the box. He's someone who gets goals, so that's goals from midfield, he guarantees you. He supports the strikers, and in terms of off the ball, he also works hard off the ball, especially for Wales, winning the ball back as high as he can. And it's going to be someone that wants to down to the ball a lot more than other players, because the ability to pick out a pass as well, not just scoring the goals, but he can pick out a pass, get assists, and so it's going to be crucial for Wales in that regard. And in terms of players he could possibly be picking out, obviously the one that comes to mind initially is the man who runs down the wing on the opposite side to Gareth Bale, and that's going to be Dan James. Again, someone whose season at club level hasn't been what he would have definitely likely to be. However, he's still an integral member of this Welsh team with his pace down the wing. He did get minutes in the game against Poland, but he was taken out to be saved essentially for this game against this big World Cup qualifier against Ukraine. But him going down the wing on the left side is going to be important for a Welsh team that could use his pace to run in behind, to make runs on the flanks and get balls in the box, because you know one man who's going to be in the box waiting for balls, it's going to be Gareth Bale, and if not Bale, it's going to be Ramsey and his late runs into the box. So Dan James could be someone they use almost to get them out when they're under pressure, because his pace in behind is someone that's going to terrify the Ukrainian defenders. So it could be one of, as much as Bale and Ramsey are going to be the focus and get a lot of the attention, you can't ignore Dan James, because as disappointing as it has been, I mean, again, someone who was last seen getting a red card for Leeds, he's still a player who, in terms of what he brings to this Welsh team, is an ability for them to get out, to get in behind using his pace. So it's going to be important whipping balls into the box as well, and not just Gareth Bale, but also the Welsh central striker, Kiefer, because Kiefer in the box is going to be someone they use as an asset. Again, allows them to get balls in the box. He's important for set pieces, defending and attacking. So to have a big body like him in the box, together with someone like Gareth Bale, they're going to cause a lot of havoc with balls in the box. And he's a real goal threat for this Welsh side, especially like I mentioned before, from set pieces. And not just that, because as much as you have Dan James running behind to be able to get you out of danger when you're defending and in behind defenses, what Kiefer more gives you is a proper target man. So they can go long if there's a press from Ukraine, which is highly unlikely because Ukraine might sit back as well. But they can, if that happens, they can't go long, they can't go to Kiefer more and ask him to hold the ball up, which is really good at. And then get players like Aaron Ramsey around him going for the knockdowns to push the team further up the field. Somebody's going to battle with defenders, get as much attention as he can away from the likes of Gareth Bale, from Ramsey's late runs from midfield, and from the guys on the wing. So again, as a target man, he's exactly what this Welsh side need in terms of how they play. He's someone they are definitely going to look for and not afraid to go long for him and to go direct to him. Now, obviously, the opponent they're going to face are the Ukrainians, and the Ukrainians are going to be led by the Taliban, and that's ANDY Malenko. Again, someone who is, in terms of his club career at West Ham, he's been more of a bait part player, someone mostly coming off the bench, not necessarily a starter. However, for Ukraine, he is their leader, he is their captain, so he's someone they're going to look for. He had one of his best games really in the last game from Ukraine away to Scotland. Obviously, he scored, and he was someone they could trust to give him the ball and to take the team high up the pitch with his trickery and that wonder of a left foot. If again on the right hand side, he'd be looking to cut his head as much as he can, get shots on target, put balls into the box again. Someone who from set pieces is going to be crucial for the Ukrainians, putting balls in the box from corners, from free kicks. Sometimes he does do that. Sometimes he is in the box attacking them because he's a big player, physical player. So if Ukraine want to win, they're going to need him to be on his best game in terms of the quality he brings. Compared to the rest of his teammates, with all due respect, he's going to be their talisman, really is going to be their main man. And not just with YARMOLENKO on the right hand side of the flank, they also have the Man City player, Alexander Zinchenko. Maybe the player who's had the most positive really in terms of seasons for his club compared to the rest of the Welsh team and the Ukrainian team. Obviously winning the title with Man City. He came off the bench in that final game against Aston Villa, and he was probably the guy who drove that City team forward to get the comeback against Villa. Obviously, he's playing in a world-class Man City side where he plays left back, but for Ukraine, he plays in the middle of the park. But still, someone who has a lot of quality. Again, on that left foot, he'll be, I guess, balancing set-piece duties with the likes of YARMOLENKO, putting balls into the box from that left-hand side. He's going to be crucial for them. He's someone who's proven already, doesn't wear the armband, yes, but he is a leader. He is almost like a captain figure for this Ukraine team. And for we've had the interviews he's done in terms of how much this means to him and his team. To at least bring the country of Ukraine together and to unify and to bring happiness, some sort of happiness to Ukraine. He's going to be someone as well they're going to depend on to guide them and to be the leader, because he has played in big games, and this is arguably the biggest game of anyone's career on that pitch. So Zinchenko's experience will be really key if Ukraine want to get over the line against this Welsh team. And in addition to that, one guy who maybe goes under the radar, but the Ukrainian centre forward, Yaremchuk. Maybe not as clinical as the rest, like a YARMOLENKO, for example, but again, he's a pest in the box. He's a big guy in the box. He's going to be a distraction to a lot of the Welsh defenders. And also from set pieces, he's someone they're going to look at. You play balls in the box, you trust he's going to be there to put it in the back of the net. So he's someone the Welsh team will have to be very aware of at all times, because his movement in the box is actually really good. And like I said, maybe not the most clinical of centre forwards, but he knows where the back of the net is. And if you lose focus, he will punish you. Now, in terms of my predictions, I think it's gonna be a really difficult one to call, because on one hand, the Welsh team have the home advantage, so the supporters at back in Wales are gonna be supporting them through and through. But on the other hand, Ukraine have this motivation to do something for their country and to bring a World Cup to Ukraine. So it's gonna be really tough to call. But I actually think there's slightly more quality on the Welsh side with Gareth Bale, Kiefer, who's underrated, Aaron Ramsey, and obviously Dan James on the wing. Being at home, I think it's going to push them. The fans are going to push them over the line. So I'm going to go for a Welsh win. I'm going to go Wales. I'd say Wales 2, Ukraine 1. And it's going to be Wales making it to the Qatar 2022 World Cup. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave your comments, your thoughts, what you agree, disagree with. What are your predictions? Who are you going to be your key players for this game in the comments below. Turn your notifications on for more videos to come. Thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe.